Order for the March 3rd meeting of March 3rd joint meeting of Glendale City Council and Glendale Housing Authority. May we have the roll call for City Council, please?
Council members: Devine.
Here.
Friedman.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Mayor Sinanian.
Here. Housing Authority.
Housing Authority.
Authority members: Devine.
Here.
Friedman.
Here.
Mincy.
Here.
Brazian.
Here.
Sinanian.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chair Najarian.
Here.
May we have the report, please?
The agenda for the March 3rd, 2015 joint public meeting of the City Council and the Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, February 26, 2015 on the bulletin board outside City Hall. The item before you today, Director of Community Development, regarding amendment to the fiscal year 2014-15 Glendale Housing Authority budget and request to note and file fiscal year 2013-14 low moderate income housing asset annual report. 1A is a council resolution making findings and approving expenditures of the LMIHAF for the administration and planning expenditures outside redevelopment project areas. B is an authority resolution making findings and approving expenditures of the LMIHAF for the administration and planning expenditures outside the redevelopment project areas. Council resolution appropriating $55,000 at C. D is an authority motion approving change order with Kane, Balmer, Berkman in the amount of $20,000 for a new contract amount of up to $405,000. E is a council motion to note and file the fiscal year 2013-14 LMIHAF annual report. And that is all on this agenda.
Yes. Mr. Ochoa?
Yes, sir. As City Clerk had read into the record a number of resolutions for you that all stem from the Department of Finance's rejection of a handful of items that were listed on our ROPS that you approved as part of the Housing Authority budget that is currently in place. The denial came in December, and so what we are asking for you is to swap out those reductions that were rejected by DOF that we are not going to appeal, and we don't feel that we would have a good chance at winning, that we would swap those out with low-mod income housing fund dollars that are available primarily through the prepayment or repayment of some of the Vassar City Lights project. These are dollars that are allocated for some limited staffing for the completion of a couple of different projects, and then, as you heard, for our legal representation with Kane, Balmer, Berkman. If you would like to ask some specific questions, our housing coordinator, Ann Bockenkamp, is here, and you have the resolutions before you, sir.
Yes, Ms.
Just
Friedman?
my only question is this going to hinder our ability to do more low-income housing? I mean, I know that the whole redevelopment takeaway does, but I mean this particular transfer.
This
is just unavoidable?
We need these funds in order to complete ongoing projects and to monitor existing projects. These funds, if they're being used for these purposes, cannot be used for future construction of new affordable units.
Okay.
So specifically, no, but as you put your finger on, largely, until the state brings back an affordable housing program, we're at the whim of what happens with money from the state and or tax credit dollars.
But necessary as this is, it is going to be a hit to our affordable housing budget.
Yes.
Marginal though it is, yes.
Thank you.
Projects like, and I'm not calling it a project because we know that it's going to happen there, but as we used to refer to Fifth and Sonora or whatever will replace it, that's not immediately impacted, right? We still have the funding for that.
That's correct.
But we're talking about the big picture. The big picture is severely impacted because monies that we were entitled to, we counted on, that are supposed to be there, are being taken away, basically.
They are not there now. The infusion, the annual infusion of hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars for affordable housing, that spigot has been turned off with the housing or with the dissolution of redevelopment. The state is now trying to find a way to fund that priority because that remains a priority to some very degree for the state, but they don't want to allow all that redevelopment lost back in with this discussion on housing. These very limited dollars are really on the margin. They have a bigger issue to resolve when it comes to funding low-mod income housing in the state because, as you point out, we have Fifth and Sonora. Whether we take those dollars and reinvest them somewhere else or do the project at Fifth and Sonora, in order to effectuate a project, we are going to need an infusion of cash from someplace else to make that attractive to the affordable housing market. That may come from home funds, that may come from a tax credit deal, but very often, as you've seen, or a veteran of the last few housing developments, very often we're looking at a combination of different sources, and it helps to have local dollars there because we have greater control as to what's going to happen.
Certainly.
I have a question.
Ms. Devine.
Part of this, the funding is for staff. Is that's for 5 staff members? Is that
The
for
5? I'm
5
not
or
sure if it's
3?
5.
I see 2.
This
and then I see-
$55,000 is for a very small percentage of a staff person. That person had been allocated as a partial project, percentage of a staff person as a project manager for completing projects. We will be reallocating unused fund balance to pay, it's like 0.20 FTE of that person's position to complete the work.
How many people total might this impact?
Basically, it's a small portion of 3 people.
Okay.
Because on item 2, it says 2 of staff positions, and then on item 3, it says somewhere it has 5, oh, 3. Item 1
I'm sorry,
has
it's 3, 'cause
3.
it should be 3
And then
people.
item 2 has 2, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
3.
3 people.
Same people
And are they
working
on
different
staff? They're on
projects.
staff? Are they
They're
on?
doing that work today.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Very well. We have no more questions for staff.
So there's
a
motions
resolution.
and resolutions
Right.
for each agency.
Well, I'll move 1A, C, and E for the council.
Second.
May we have the roll call for 1A, C, and E?
Council members Devine,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Najarian,
Yes.
Weaver,
Aye.
Mayor Sinanian.
Yes.
I'll move 1B and D for the authority.
Second.
May we have the roll call, please?
Authority members Devine,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Mincy,
Yes.
Parazian,
Yes.
Sinanian,
Yes.
Weaver,
Aye.
Chair Najarian.
Yes.
Move to adjourn for the council.
Second.
Move to adjourn for the housing authority.
Very well.
Or adjourned for.
We are adjourned for both House and Council at 3:11 p.m.